Hi everybody, I'm just having a cold beer to calm my nerves before embarking on IndiePack 2021 because the thought's quite nerve-wracking at the moment, what I'm undertaking. But in the meantime, I would just like to go quickly over some of the gear that I'll be using for this ride from Perth to Sydney, hopefully. So, a big thing for me is safety, and I want to be seen at night as well as to be able to see where I'm going. So I purchased a Supernova, E3 Pro 2 light, and this is a dynamo light which runs off a hub on the front wheel, which I'm getting built up, and I believe these are really good, and I'll be running that sort of day and night, all day, 24/7. And I also bought a small rear dynamo light with it as well, which is also a Supernova light. Cost a lot of money, but I believe it's going to be worth it safety-wise. I also just have a spare backup Lazine Hectodrive 400 XL, just a battery light for the front. So they're the only two lights I'll be relying on. For the rear, I've got a Saigo Light Hot Shot. I think this is the 200, it might be the 150 lumen light, and another battery light, USB chargeable. I've also got if this is a 150, I've got a 200 that I'll be taking as well. And these are supposedly seen from 2 kilometers away. They're that good. I haven't used them before, but I believe they're very good. I've got a couple of Nog blinder lights, which I'll also be using as my rear lights. And I believe they've got a real long running life, which is important to me if I'm using battery stuff as well as the dynamo. This here is just a black eye sort of headlight that I'll be using if I need to do any repairs on the road at night, or if I'm mucking about at night for any reasons and I need to see what I'm doing. For my navigation, I'll be using Element Bolt. So I'll download the IndiePack route on that and hopefully not get lost. Should be pretty much okay from Perth to Ceduna or Port Augusta, but after that, I think there's a chance of getting lost. This here, just I think it's technically incompetent, but I think it's a UHF sort of radio to communicate with the truckies, the road trains on the route for safety purposes, just to let them know that there's a IndiePack cyclist presence. And I think Luke Jeffrey gave me the hot tip for that, so thank you, Luke. Just an iPhone 8 that I'll be using just for keeping in contact with loved ones and supporters. I haven't got the backup. I've got the backup route and course notes on this as well for the IndiePack route. What else? So just as far as tools go, I haven't got everything that I'll be taking here, but I'll be taking at least 5 spare tubes, and I'll be taking 1 spare tire. I'm running Continental 700 by 28C GPS 5000s. They were in quite short supply when I tried to get them a few days ago before the race or the ride starts. I've got a Leathercraft Squirt multi-tool, which I've not even opened yet. I've got some tire boots and some super adhesive patches, just park stuff in case I need to use a boot for a ripped tire, but I've got that spare as backup. Something I almost forgot to pick up is some quick links in case I've got chain issues, and some extra bolts for the bidon attachments in case there's any problems there. I'll also be taking a spare seat bolt in case the seat post bolt has any issues. Just a chain breaker, spoke tool, and the guy that's building up my wheels, Melody Wheels, he's given me some of the stainless steel spokes that I'll need in case I have any issues with spokes. I think there's a couple of different sizes there to accommodate sort of any problem, hopefully. Hopefully I won't need those. Lazine road drive pump. I'm not taking any sort of other methods of filling the tyres, and I'm running tubes for my tyres, I'm not running tubeless. I've just got the dry lube for on-road and a rag to clean my chain if I need to do so regularly. I think it'll be quite sandy out there. So yeah, there's a few Allen keys, loose Allen keys that I'll be carrying so I can get into sort of tight spots, but that's about it. Clothing wise, I'm not taking a sleeping bag, so this is a Patagonia Nano Puff jacket. I was a little bit hesitant to buy it because it was expensive, but that will hopefully double as my sleeping bag if I need to sleep rough on the side of the road. Most of the time I'm hoping to find hotel or motel accommodation. Oops. I've also got I think it's a Mac Pack, sort of highly breathable, I don't even know what model it is, just a rain jacket. Open it up. So yeah, so I got that on special, and I like bright colours, and it's super light, and I think it's got the maximum breathability rating, whatever that is. So that's that. The essential fluoro vest from Kmart, so I'll be wearing that at all times. And I've also gone to the extent of buying another high-vis vest for night, because I probably will be riding a bit at night. And I've seen these things on YouTube and they're absolutely amazing. They light you up like a Christmas tree. And it's got a bit of insulation there for warmth. I'm just going to be running the one jersey, and I've opted for the Pedal Mafia, just a white one. I've used these before and they're really breathable and quite effective. So I'll just be taking that and washing that as I need it. I've got just a buff, like a SPF buff to cover my face, keep out swallowing flies as well, when I'm out in the sort of sun. I want to sort of not expose too much skin at all. And some, I think, SPS 50 Azumu sun protectors, because I'll be running short sleeves. Also got some Nanoflex, I think, Castelli leg warmers, because I won't be using any long tights. It's still hopefully going to be warm enough to get away with that, at least the first bit of the ride. And a icebreaker merino beanie. It's quite thin, so it'll fit under the helmet. Seeing I've got a buff head, it's not going to cause any problems and give me a lot of warmth, hopefully. I'm only taking a couple of pairs of TXU triathlon shorts, which I've done pretty much all my training on, and I've found these to be really effective. They're quite thin, there's not much padding, but they've proven quite effective. Now, I'll just be taking a pair of Oakley Sunnies, polarized, with this helmet. Last minute purchase, but I've got EVT mirror, helmet mirror. It looks huge, but that's to give me a bit of my security blanket. I like to sort of know what's behind me and if traffic's moving over or not, because I'm absolutely paranoid about safety on this ride. So that's just a ball and socket, clips onto the attachment on the helmet. Never used one before, but I hope they're good. Emergency bivvy, just an escape light for when I have to sleep rough. I've also got a little Ultrasil, Cedar Summit Ultrasil backpack if I've got to pick up shopping goods, food or anything from any roadhouses. I can just chuck it all in there and carry extra water or any food between where there's big distances between services. Just got some Gyro, I think Monte Carlo gel gloves, which I've been using the last 12 months, very comfortable. And they seem to really prevent me getting any sort of nerve issues with pressure points. I'm taking a couple of USB sort of quick chargers. These are supposedly the quick charge versions for when I need to charge lights at night, my Element Bolt phone, any other sort of gear that I need to charge. And I've got a backup, I think it's a 10,000 milliamp cache battery. I might take two of those, but I've got one at the moment. This here is I think it's called a watercock or something, but it's if I need to get water in remote areas, then there's no tap handles, but there's an outlet. At least I can use this hopefully to access water. And I think that was a tip in Jesse Carlson's and Sarah Hammond's book, so I just picked that up from Bunnings, about $5. As far as bags that I'll be carrying, I'll probably be going light compared to some people, but I've got just using Apparel stuff pretty much. Just goes under the top tube. Haven't even figured what I'll put in that yet. Saddle bag, smaller version. I'll just be carrying my sort of cold weather gear in that, and spare tire on the back, and that's pretty much it. I've got a couple of 3 feed bags from Apidura, so I'll be running 3, probably 2 4 bottles for the 1 litre bottles on the handlebars. Actually, I'll be taking 4 of these, whatever they are, 2 litre, 1 litre bottles, all right, at all times. So I'll be having 4 of those, 2 on the frame and 3 most likely in feed bags. I've got a smaller feed bag here too, an Apidura version. If I'm not running a bottle in that, I'll just use food or snacks in that. So that's pretty much it. There's a few other things I'll be taking. As far as the bike goes, the bike I'm using is it's a 1989, I think, steel Panasonic frame, a custom mortar frame that I picked up from a flea market a number of years ago when I was getting back into exercise, and I had it resprayed white. It used to be purple and pink, which looked pretty cool, but I wanted it white. So it's now pearl white, and I've put Shimano Ultegra 6800 group set on it. I think the front's a compact. I think it's, I can never remember, but I think it's a 5236 and 1128 sprocket on the back. As I said, this wheel at the front's going to be changed out. The H-Sun Plus TB4 rims, I think the old box section ones, great rims, but I'm getting another front wheel built up with the Germany Sun Dynamo hub to run that front E3 Pro 2 headlight. I'm running the older version of the Profile T3 Plus bars, where I can get these elbow rests, arm rests really far back to where I sort of need to be set up ergonomically. The major change here is I've bought these custom CG's gel pads, which are super comfy, much better than the original stock pads. So highly recommend using those if you can find them. And I think I've got I think it's roughly a 30 millimeter riser on the bars, because I want to be a bit more upright and not too aggressive, because I'm not flexible at the best of times, and it's not so important to have a super aggressive position, I'm told, on these rides. You can go higher, but I just thought that's fine for me. I will be, unlike probably a lot of people, I'll be running flat pedals. At the moment, I've got the Odyssey Twisted. They're really, I think, cheap, like $20 sort of plastic pedals. I might change them out with new ones before I start, but that's pretty much what I'll be running. And I'll be wearing just standard Adidas sort of Samba like sneakers, mainly hopefully to try and sort of avoid any hot spots developing, as well as any knee issues. Just gives me a bit more flexibility to move my feet around, and if I need to get off the road quickly, I can step down and walk around easy. I've got my bottle cages at the moment are the King cages, the stainless steel cages, I think handmade in the USA. The big thing that I spent a lot of time trialing was seats to avoid saddle sores. I'm absolutely paranoid about developing saddle sores in such a long ride. So I ended up buying a Infinity, I think it's an E2 or something like that, seat from the USA, and it looks weird. It takes a while to sort of set it up right, but once you've set it up right, I I've had no issues. I trialed it doing a 1,000-kilometre week, which is big for me, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever as far as saddle sores go or pressure points. And I'm running the old school, I think Nido 65 seat post on that. Yeah, it's pretty much it from a setup, and obviously this will be fully laden with all my gear and bags in a few days' time. That's what I'm running.